Hello and welcome to Nexus Digital's Marketing Minute. My name is Brady, and in today's tutorial, we're going to walk you through the process of setting up and creating a Google Analytics account. Now, remember, this is a video, so at any point, please pause, stop, rewind, and go back to make sure you don't miss any steps along the way. With that said, let's get started. Okay, first things first, you're going to open up your web browser and you're going to want to navigate to analytics.google.com. Now, the screen that you're seeing on top here is what you're going to see because I already have an account. It doesn't look quite the same, but the steps are all going to look the same from here point in. So just click on that Start Measuring button. And from here, you're going to go into your account details and name your account. I'm just going to put in Nexus Digital Test just so there's no confusion. And I'm actually going to unlink it just because this is a dummy account and I'm going to try and get rid of it afterwards. And then going further down, you're going to put your account data sharing settings in place. I'm a big fan of having more information, having the ability to have more information. So I personally kind of click on all of the options that are available from your benchmarks, technical support, and your Google products and services section. From there, you're going to scroll down to the blue button and click Next. And from here, it's going to open up your property setup. Your property is generally the domain that is in question. If you have a company site that has multiple domains, this is kind of how you differentiate the two. I'm just putting Nexus Digital Test, but most people, I would recommend just putting in your domain. You're going to set up the country that you're in. I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to find Canada. And you're going to set up your time zone. Find Toronto here. And you're going to change the currency to the Canadian dollars. This is whatever currency you happen to be using for e-commerce on your website or any monetary action that's on your website. And if you don't have one in place now, it's still important to use and highlight. It's a little bit tricky situation to go back and adjust any of these things. Then you're going to go into your advanced settings. Now, a lot's kind of changed in the last year or so with Google Analytics, and they've actually developed a new account or a new system called the GA4. I don't know whether or not this is going to stay in place or it's going to be adjusted or adapted at a later date, but this gives you the option of creating both the GA4 and your Universal Analytics property, and I highly recommend doing that. A lot of integrations may not work with the new GA4, so having the Universal Analytics tag is important. And again, here you're going to type in your website domain, and you're going to again create both. And before clicking on the next button, you're going to want to just kind of quickly do a quick once over just to make sure all the information that is in place is accurate. Again, it is hard to kind of go back and change some of these settings. So just kind of double check that everything is the way that it should be. And then you're going to scroll down to that blue button that says Next after you're ready. Make sure your domain's right. And this is where you're going to input some information about your business, starting with the industry that you're in. And what this does is it allows Google, based on their backend and their templates, to kind of look at your industry and then kind of extrapolate typical goals, events, and actions that associate your industry with what people are doing, other companies are doing on their website. If you can't find the best suited option, there's always the other section along at the bottom. I'm just going to put in business here, and then you're going to fill out a little bit of information about your company. And then along this bottom section, it's going to highlight what you're going to use Google Analytics for. And again, I'm a big proponent of having more information or having at least access to that information, even if you don't intend on using it. Personally, I don't understand why anyone wouldn't apply all of these options. If you're not using everything right now, that doesn't mean you're not going to use it in the future. And during that time span, there's a lot of data based on traffic to your website that you can find information about from who's using your website. So personally, I would include every element here. And I go one step further. I'm actually going to click on Other. And I'm just going to add marketing and video analysis into this section. After you've created your account, you can also link your YouTube channel to your Google Analytics, and likewise on your website if you're embedding any video from YouTube. I think it's a good thing to have. And then you're going to click on that blue Create button. This is going to open up some disclaimers and information. First thing you're going to do is find the country that you're in. I'm going to find Canada here. And then you're going to go through all of this wonderful legal terms and service information. If you're at all uneasy, I highly recommend reading through it all just so you have an understanding of everything, and then click off that you accept. And then click the blue button, or sorry, the accept button. And this is going to open up your account and your web stream details. So you'll have your web stream along the top, and you'll have your measurement ID. You can copy that at a later date. And then it's going to show you the elements that are in place and what analytics is tracking, or actions they're kind of tracking on your website. Again, similar to other things, I don't really know why anyone would unlink any of these things. You want to see what people are doing on your website. If you don't happen to have anything like downloads on your website now, that doesn't mean you're not going to have them in the future. And my personal opinion is to kind of select all of them and take advantage of everything that's there. Click Save. Now it comes to the part where it's integrating Google Analytics onto your website. And there's a variety of different ways that you can kind of have the code put on it, your website that is. And there's the general tag that Google has. And this is something that would just go in the header section of your website. However, if you're using a templated site, something from Shopify, WordPress, Wix, something of that nature, they have their own integrations that work a little bit easier than actually using the tag. You may only need the Universal Analytics ID versus using the actual tag. Or similarly, you can copy it, and I know in WordPress there's a section, in Spotify there also, or Shopify, sorry, there is actually another section, but to just kind of paste that code in there, and there's integrations and setup guides for those directly in those sections. Personally, I'm a big fan of Google Tag Manager, having one snippet of code that's placed on your website, and then going to Tag Manager and adding any kind of further code or tags in there. And obviously it's Google Tag Manager, so it integrates really easily with Google Analytics. And you're just going to grab that UA tracking ID, and most websites, including Tag Manager, you'll generally just have to copy that snippet or ID into a given section. And that's it. That is everything you need to know about setting up or creating a Google Analytics account. For more information or tutorials on this or anything else, please feel free to visit our website at nexusdigital.co. And likewise, if you want to reach out across any of our social media channels, please feel free to do so. We love hearing from everyone. Any tips, suggestions, any further tutorials that you'd like to see, we'd be happy to oblige. And with that said, have a good day, and we'll see you next time.